Hey Minecraft, Colin here. Today I'll be showing you how to make a honeycomb farm and a honey bottle farm in your Minecraft survival world. So these are the two farms I'll be showing you how to build. First off, we have the honeycomb farm. I've been running this for a little bit. I already have 9 honeycomb. And we have the honey bottle farm. Been running this also for a bit. We have some honey bottles. They're quite small, but they're pretty efficient. You could tile them further if you want more efficiency. And some things to note before building this. If you're gonna build this in the Nether or End, as there is no weather or daytime nighttime cycle there, so your bees will always be working. So because if we have the weather here or raining, all the bees will just head right back into their nests. And if we have it set to clear, the bees should come back out. And if it's nighttime, bees also won't work, so building this in the Nether or End is definitely the best course of action. I definitely suggest building it in the End, as the End is slightly more peaceful than the Nether, but just make sure to build it after you've killed the Ender Dragon. So before we build this, I'm going to show you how to get a hold of some bees and other things. So say you were heading around your Minecraft world and you're looking for a bee nest. They're surprisingly hard to find, but if you find one and you know there are bees in there, just make sure to check around for bees and make sure they get in there. You can have 2 bees get in here. I know that there are bees in here. And when you have your bee nest, you can build a little glass surrounding case and have the mini honeycomb farm. So this mini honeycomb farm is super simple to build. You just have an observer facing towards a bee nest, an observer facing towards the other observer, face into a solid block, and a redstone dust on top of a dispenser facing downwards. And the dispenser has to be filled with shears, otherwise it won't be able to harvest any of the honeycomb. So head into your little enclosure here, fill it with flowers so that the bees can work while you wait, and place a bee nest right here. Soon enough, the bees should start coming out and working. When you have 2 bees in there, you should definitely start breeding them so that you have all the bees filing through, and then once you have enough honeycomb, you can start crafting some more beehives so that we can actually build the farm. So here's one and another. Let's just breed them together, and then we'll have a baby, and they can all start working. And while you leave them on cooldown, you can come back again to breed them again and just keep breeding them over and over again so you have lots and lots of bees. But for now, I'm going to show you how to build the honeycomb and the honey bottle farms. So the first farm I'm going to be starting off with showing you is definitely the farm I think most people will be more interested in. So if you want to check my version, we are in 1.15 pre-release 3. And to start, all we need to do is we need to take some grass blocks. Make sure to build put the grass 1 block away from the ground, and you can go as far as 8 blocks far. So you can have 8 grass blocks right here. And say you have a bunch of beehives that already have bees in here. We can see that the NBT tag on my beehive has 2 tags, so that definitely means there are some bees in there. We'll take carpet to stop the bees from leaving. Place them here. And ever since the bug fix that beehives will only come out of the front of the nest, we can leave a carpet here just to stop them from leaving. We'll place a beehive right in front of the carpet. So there are bees in here, but the carpet will stop the bees from leaving due to their pathfinding. And just place all your beehives right against the carpet. Next, what you'll want to do is you want to make an enclosure for them. So take your glass. I like to use glass so I can watch the bees work. And just create a little enclosure right here. So for the top one, you could use hoppers facing into the dispensers that we're going to put here. Or you could use walls instead. You could use walls like this instead if you want to build it like this. It's the same thing, as long as it keeps them enclosed. You could use glass as well. But if you put walls or hoppers, you'd still be able to interact with this small space. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use hoppers. So for the first part of this farm, you want to take a dispenser and have it face towards the beehive. Have it face down, right into the beehive. Make sure it's a dispenser or this farm won't work. You can face some hoppers into that if you are going to do the same thing as me. You can also place some chests on top of that to have bottles always constantly going into the droppers. A tip for this is that you could actually hook this up to a witch farm with lots and lots of bottles. Since witches drop bottles, you could filter the bottles into these chests and they would go in here. So what you want to do is you want to take a solid block. I'll be using iron. Also take some glass, any color will do. And take redstone dust. And you have to make sure you have a comparator. Place those blocks behind those bee nests or beehives. I can never get them right, they always mix me up. And have comparators reading those. So they're all reading it. And here, at this point actually, you can take your flowers. I'll use cornflowers. You can remove the carpet, see, and you can place the flowers in. You can even breed the bees together if you want. Oh gosh, there are a lot of bees. I accidentally hit one. So once you have all the flowers put in, and have a flower in front of each of the bee nests, so that they can all work. I accidentally breeded some of the bees, so now there are 2 baby bees. That's fine. So, what's the honey level of this? Honey level 3. Okay. So each beehive has a honey level, a maximum honey level of 5. How did he get out? It's fine. He must have got out because of the hoppers. It's completely fine. So you can take your redstone dust and have it face into a solid block. Place some more dust on top of this. You can place some glass here to stop the connection being cut off. Place some more dust on top of that. And you want to take some solid blocks. And you can face some here. The dispenser will always get powered anyways. So we can see that the bees are already going inside and working, but we'll also have to have a storage system. So you can take a barrel or some sort of block, place it here, take a hopper, and place a hopper under a bee nest. And you can have it face all the way into your main storage system. That's not connected. And to make sure that we are actually getting honey, we'll get some bottles. And you can fill your chests up with them. So that's the entire honey bottle farm completely done. And we should start seeing some of the bees working. We can already see that all the beehives are actually at honey level 3, so we can check. Yeah, honey level 3. So they should start working and producing lots and lots of honey that you can use to make some honey blocks. Very useful with redstone. Lots of people love it. And the next farm I'm going to show you how to build is the honeycomb farm. So to start, I'll just build this right next to this farm. What we'll need to do is you can take a dirt block, place it here. I'm just using farmland for the time being. And you can have as far as 8 again, so I'll just put 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make sure to curve it so it stays like this even when you break that next block. And what you want to do is you want to place lots of farmland in front of it. Since you can't get farmland in survival, just place dirt blocks in front of it and hoe all of these. and hoe all of the dirt blocks. Then you want to take some water, and we need to hydrate the farmland so that this doesn't happen. I'll just take a hoe, place it there, and we'll start to see that it's all getting hydrated. So actually, I have a beehive that's filled as well. So I'll just put some carpet on top of this. You'll see that it doesn't actually turn your farmland into dirt, so that's fine. Place your beehives facing towards the carpet so that the bees don't try and escape. And you'll just take some glass to make sure that they're all enclosed. Now, this is probably the most simple farm, but it's definitely the most unstable. You want to take a dispenser and have it face down as well. At this point, you can do the same thing I was talking about in the previous farm. You can have a huge storage system, but I really think it's unnecessary since we're just using shears. You can just place some shears in here. You can place a shear in each of the dispensers. You can even enchant them with Unbreaking 3 if you're really worried about that. And just fill all of your dispensers up with shears. So once you're done with that, you can use a wall so that you can close the bees in and actually still interact with them. Now this is the easy part. Just take your observers and have them detect any block updates from the beehives. Place some observers facing into those observers. Place some blocks on top of that. Take some redstone dust and place it on top of the dispensers. Now, here comes another easy part. You can take any type of flower you want. I'll use an allium. As long as it's 1 block tall, it's fine. Yeah, you just want to keep filling it up. I'm actually going to turn on hitboxes so I don't accidentally breed any of those bees. And we can see that they're all producing honeycomb. So the nice thing about this is that the shears won't accidentally drop out, because shears in a dispenser will only actually shave all of the honey bottles if it's actually filled. So what we need to do is we need to also create a storage system for this. Since the honeycomb farm is a lot more unstable, as you saw here, since it was creating a lot of honeycomb very fast, and it was all just dropping everywhere. This is why I used the farmland. Since the farmland is actually just slightly smaller than a single block, hoppers can pick items up even if they're on top of it. And we'll just paste some hoppers right into it. You don't have to have this many hoppers. It's nice to be on the safe side, but just don't put as many as I did. And we can have a huge storage system. You can hook it up to a really big storage system and have lots of honeycomb in there. It seems that none of these guys have actually produced any bottles just yet. But it seems that I have. That's weird. Anyways, so each of these farms works very well, and you can have them tile across the landscape. Just word of advice, do make sure to build them in the end or the nether if you want maximum efficiency. It's kind of a nice thing to have in the overworld, but it's always better to build it into the nether. And that's because if it's raining, the bees will stop working. If it's nighttime, the bees will stop working. They'll only work if it's morning and it's not raining. You can also go check on the little glass enclosure we made. Yeah, definitely. It's producing some honeycomb. Basically what this tiny little farm was for, it was just to supply us with honeycomb for making bee nests. So, I hope you enjoyed learning how to make a honeycomb farm and a honey bottle farm in your Minecraft survival world. If you liked the video, do be sure to hit the like button, and if you really loved it, do consider subscribing. Well, that's all from me for now. See you next time.